Warning. Listener discretion is advised.
In your face, all over the place.
We're online 24/7. 24/7.
You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Access Radio.
Coffee. Coffee now!
9 years running, over 500 episodes, 25,000 fans on social media, 3-time award-winning podcast, the show that pissed off Arrow, Stephen ML on Facebook.
The podcast that has the most listens by the way of Ashburn, Virginia.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Stuff and pee and poop stuff.
Nothing poo!
There is some smooth knee pits out there.
I got bad news.
DCR on Access Radio.
Beer your pain. Is it a Charlie horse?
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
And here we go.
Yeah, 8 is all weird.
What's all weird?
You're weird.
I'm not weird.
No, you're not weird. I've got Todd over here at Chummy. Hang on a second. Let me. Todd's right. Hang on a second.
In a very lovable way.
Oh, he's using a cheap way.
The audio business and sound like you're speaking through a bean can.
Well, he can hear you now, I think. Todd, can you hear Andrew?
Oh, I can hear him. What are you doing, buddy?
Todd, speak to me, Todd.
You tell me. What's happening here? What happened to technology?
Oh my God.
Technology has gone awry.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Todd sounds like he's from Mission Control from the moon in 1969 or whenever they went to the moon.
He is from Mission Control. So so Todd, I've got, being the expert audio engineers that we are, bringers of audio joy to the world, Andrew's on a cell phone in my hand, in front of a microphone, and that seems to be what's happening tonight. I don't know if you can hear him or not.
I'll tape it on VHS to see if we can get through.
You know what? I'm not going to judge, because we did an interview for Toronto Comic Con with James O'Barr, and we had to do the exact same thing, because he doesn't.
Oh my God.
He's behind in terms of technology per se.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
So what we did was we took my phone. I didn't know how we were going to pull this off, so I had my phone actually, talking to him on the phone, but then I had like 5 different microphones surrounding this phone, just in case if one of them shit out on me. I had plans A to E, just in case, because James O'Barr is a very influential person in the comic book world, and I'm like, I can't screw this one up. So.
Right, and it worked, right? You got it.
Yeah, we got it. We met him, and fun times. And we got to meet you guys, too, so what a win. For Toronto.
It's a win for everybody.
It is a win. So it was funny, we were waiting for Chalmers. I got to ask, Chalmers, you wearing pants?
Sorry?
You wearing pants, Chalmers?
Am I left-handed Chalmers? I'd rather not admit to that. I don't understand.
Are you wearing pants? Are you wearing pants? It's a thing. It's a thing that we do. We usually don't wear pants whenever we're on the
last time we did a podcast.
Sorry, I'm really having difficulty hearing you. Sorry. Yeah, I have pants on. That might be frustrating for you to hear, but I do have pants. Yeah.
The only reason why I bring that up, because the last time we did a podcast, I think it was before. Obviously before season 2 started, we had kind of just had a whatever podcast just talking to you guys. You weren't on the show the one time, and we actually had a conversation about you not wearing pants. So, just wanted to.
I think there might have been cider involved as well.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. So we'll just start with the first part. I can honestly tell you the way you guys went for season 2 kind of threw me for a curve. I know that AJ agrees with me. So the first 3 episodes, I can tell you, were pretty dark. Is that a good way to put it? Like, what was the motivation behind this season compared to last season?
Yeah, I think the first 3 episodes are dark. I mean, darker, definitely. I mean, there's bits of lightness. It's definitely not as light as the first series. I mean, Andrew, what do you think? Do you think that the first the first 3 of the second series were sort of darker in tone?
Of season 2?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's touches of light there, but
definitely. I mean, the whole thing about Dark Journey is that at the end of season 1, I actually thought to myself, have we made it dark enough? Because I know that Mike and you and I have obviously discussed this on a few 2,000 occasions. But when you start to write, everyone wants to write a darker version of the Doctor and do all these things. But in saying that, though, when you write the Doctor, or try and write the Doctor, you find his humor comes out. So at the end of season 1, I mean, listen, I tried to write a darker, more angst-ridden version of the Doctor, but then I found I quite liked the fact that he said cool beans. So there's a contradiction. There's almost like a schizophrenic approach to the writing of it. But I do think that we really kind of made it into a dark journey in season 2. So I would say, I think episodes 1 to 4 really, Mike and I have always hoped that it would take the audience into an area where they were going, wow, like he just threw a guy off a balloon to a pack of wild dogs, and this unpredictability with the character does continue to a degree through the first few episodes.
Now, Todd, let me ask you. I mean, did you feel that there was a significant shift between the first and the second series of what you've heard so far?
I can speak for myself, and AJ will chime in, but it's very noticeable. Not a negative notice at all. Like, I mean, this is something that it kind of, when I sat down, I'm like, okay, let's get started. And the first episode, it ended, and I was like, what in the actual fuck just happened? It was just like, This is really cool. Like, it was the start, you have an explosive start, and just new elements put into there, are brought into the season, in my opinion, that I felt anyways. I really found myself enjoying it because it's nice to see, because I'm not, like I said, I'm a Doctor Who fan-ish now. There's I haven't seen a lot of older Doctors as of yet, but I mean, I've heard there's been some darker storylines done, but I have not seen them. Mm-hmm. But this is the way how the storyline's going. It was very engaging. It kept me wanting to listen to it more because I didn't know what was going to happen next, and that was a huge selling point for me as a listener. Of course, like I liked the first season, but from what I've listened to right now, it looks like the second season is going to be the better of the two, in my opinion, anyways.
But yeah, like I was saying, Todd made a good point with it being engaging this season, compared to last season. But definitely a much, much darker feel, obviously, with the decisions the Doctor is making. But Andrew put it perfectly with the idea of being schizophrenic, because you've got this much darker side, but then the humanity does come out. You've got the quick little quips. The joke about the poltergeist, it flying off the shelves. Right. Even when that joke happened, Todd looked, he's like, did they just do a poltergeist joke? What? We're chuckling on the other end. You mentioned the cool beans in series 1, so it's you do have that, double nature, right? Dark and light. Definitely makes things very interesting character-wise.
Thank you. Andrew?
Yes, thank you.
Andrew, any thoughts there?
Well, I mean, obviously, thank you very much for the comments. I mean, it's still, even though Mike and I and the team have built up, quite a bit of a following with this, it's still very humbling to be invited on interviews and all the rest of it. But as long as we're telling an entertaining story, but still keeping in sync with the Doctor Who universe, I think that I think it's fine. We get our own kind of spin on it, but I love the reviews when people say it's like listening to an episode of the series. I take that as the ultimate compliment, because it proves that anyone could take something and make a version out of it which doesn't really make any sense. We could write Batman, make him into a moth, Bruce Wayne would be in Hong Kong and he would be a woman, and you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You've detracted so much from the source material, it doesn't make any sense. So to have something which is recognized as being part of the Who universe, but your own, is great. So it's wonderful. I mean, I'm still amazed that anyone listens to it. I know we've done a good job, but you know what I mean.
I think what I can agree to the comment about the fan base. It's definitely, I've noticed, has grown for you in a very larger scale. I remember we first started, and now it seems like you pop an episode and you guys are really getting good numbers on it. That's great, because I mean, and you know, this one thing I said to AJ is that I really noticed. I'm going to use the phrase production value, but I'm sure you'll understand what I mean. You'll definitely notice a lot more in depth experience while listening to the show. Now I remember when you sent us the file a while ago saying can you record some stuff? Now when I heard it, I'm like, okay, so that's what you were doing. And the whole experience, just ranging from the explosion, I think it was an explosion in the first episode, just to all the way through. It just feels like the sound, obviously it being an audio play, that's obviously something you want to master, but is at such a high caliber. Caliber.
There we go.
Mixed stroke. It's definitely noticeable.
Thank you.
I definitely I can say keep up the good work. How cheesy that sounds, but it's really true. I mean, we still strive in our podcast to obviously increase our audio, to do better at what we do and stuff like that. You guys are basically just really jumped up. And you also won awards for the show as well, if I'm correct?
Yeah, that's right. We've won an Audioverse Award for Roy Miranda, our Sherlock Holmes. He took home the Best Actor Award for the Audioverse Awards, which is a big audio play award competition that... you okay there, Andrew? All right. Let's find out. Let's find out. Ooh. With the anticipation.
Chalmers!
Hello. Who's shouting at me through the internet?
Victory!
Victory!
Contact has been made.
Was involved in the call, but isn't this a nice thing to hear people's voices?
Who is this?
I don't know.
Trouton
Did
is
you
my
disconnect
doctor.
to?
This is Dan. This is Dan speaking.
Oh, it's Dan Collins. Hi, Dan.
Collins, he's lovely. I'm just here stroking my beard like the master.
Wow.
I call my beard. It's a euphemism.
Andrew, you know that this is a podcast, right? It's an audio thing.
Mike, I just thought you were phoning about the shopping list. What? I've got loaf of bread, milk, orange juice.
What kind of milk did you get?
Strawberries.
What kind of milk? What?
I've got kosher.
What? What is kosher milk?
Kosher milk is milk that's available to kosher people.
Oh,
You know
to the kosheries.
The kosher, God bless you,
Did
allergies.
you just make a race?
He just invented one.
Yes, it's a new Doctor Who villain, the kosheries.
The kosheries is going to be...
That's series 3. Stop giving away spoilers.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Why is it every time we have a conversation with these guys, it always breaks down? Every time.
Well, I mean, London Batman
It's not-
isn't here, so...
Yeah.
He sends his regards, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Is he out tonight fighting crime in London?
No, probably not.
Okay.
I really think that fighting crime in London is more than a one-man job, but that's just my opinion.
You're probably right.
Well, this is London, Ontario, though, so...
Well,
That's what I mean. I've been there.
Oh, okay.
I saw the Who there. Not as in Doctor Who, but I saw the band.
okay.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to see the Who in London with Linda and my wife, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we stayed overnight, and we stayed in a hotel that had some weird shopping mall in like the basement area. Mm-hmm. And about 8 p.m., I said to Linda, and I'm not joking, I said, we have to go back to the room because I think that the locals eat outsiders after 8 p.m. Because we were in this mall and it was very Walking Dead. It had that very enclosed, alarming, but the whole quality to it was very strange. And people like looked at me. I mean, I'm used to people looking at me like he's some kind of freak, but they looked at me like he looks like edible. And I just thought to Linda, I said, the first thing we have to do is to go to the beer store, get 32 cans of cider, and then we must immediately go back to the hotel room. So that was it. That's a line that you can only use on your wife, by the way. I need to get 32 cans of cider and take you to a hotel room.
Now, Andrew, if they were eating people, would they eat? Is there an Andrew Chalmers, like a kosher Andrew Chalmers available for the kosherese zombie Londoners?
Yes,
there is a kosher Andrew Chalmers available.
There's also a jerk version for Caravana, and there's also
available year-round
version for all our Middle Eastern friends.
Excellent, that's lovely.
Yes. Wow, exactly. So any viewers that wish to chew on me, then just contact me via email, and we'll arrange a time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can see. I just got a moneymaker idea right here. We'll start a website.
Don't do it.
ChewOnChalmers.com. We can make some money.
Are we all sure that
in the
he's
middle
not
of the
wearing
video?
pants?
We'll do like old school like subliminal messaging and commercials and stuff. It'll be like halfway the video, like go watch Doctor Who, then go back to the actual show.
Yeah.
There you go. You can create
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. Yeah, we start a Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. And I'll be there going, and remember, it's order 2 toes and get 2 elbows weekend for Canada Day. And where is this conversation? I've created this, I think. But this conversation is going in a very dark journey.
This is dark.
This is dark. I'm just excited because I can hear you guys, because as you know, Mike and I, we love you guys. And it's nice to talk. And I was desperate to be able to hear things.
Well, that's good.
It's good.
I thought
to myself, when I heard all the stuff on the phone, I thought, this is quality stuff. These are insightful questions about season 2 of the opus that's become Dark Journey. This thing that's being created. I thought, I need to hear these questions. I need to honor the intellect and the accuracy and the observational skills behind them. And then when I connect to you guys, all you guys talk about are eating my goddamn feet. So
well, there's only one problem with that statement. The word intellect.
True. True. Intellect I always thought sounded like a mispronounced word. Like it should be intellect, but someone says intellect and it comes across badly.
I think there's a Monty Python sketch in there somewhere.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, because at any time that anyone meets Andrew Chalmers, they instantly think of Monty Python. Right, Andrew? Yes. Because that's their only reference point sometimes.
Because it's their only reference. But sometimes I get, but more recently, Mr. Bean.
Oh, Mr. Bean, eh?
Yeah, and as you know, Mike, I love that.
Yeah, we should do a Mr. Bean audio play, maybe.
We should.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. You know how well that would work.
No. Yeah, well, no, it'd be over in a minute because he doesn't talk really.
But how would you capture on audio such brilliantly intellectual, humorous aspects as getting your head stuck in a turkey at Christmas?
By interpretive dance.
I think we could get. Well, Todd, AJ, and Rainer, as we all know, or as our listeners may not know, did little cameos, some small cameos in episode 3 in Age of Banishment. So maybe they could, maybe they could pull off some turkey sound effects as well.
That would be I don't
know. Just throw it out there.
It could be foul play, Mike.
Oh, come on, the puns!
Wow.
Mike,
sorry guys, he's winging it tonight.
On a wing and a prayer.
Listen,
sorry.
we just went through 4 episodes of the show and heard the puns. Now we're going to hear the puns in the podcast.
Well, this is live, baby. This is live. And at the end of this, you can also eat my forearms. So it's a bargain for you.
Jeez.
Enough with the cannibal stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Todd, do you watch Hannibal?
I know, I'm sad.
Right, don't worry about it. Mike and I have picked up the option to do season 4.
Yeah, right.
We just want to go out officially and say that NBC they've cancelled Hannibal. Mike and I knew this was coming through our insiders, or some guy that sells sandwiches down in Oshawa High Street, and Mike and I are picking up audio for audio. Season 4 for audio. I completely screwed that up.
I'm curious how that would sound.
Just a knife on a plate?
Scary.
Would it be like the scene from Lord of the Rings: Two Towers when the king, he wasn't the king, he was the Ward of Gondor, was eating, and it was the most disgusting sound effects I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah.
When he was like,
oh yeah, that was a bit
over the top.
That was a bit intense, wasn't it?
It was just like, you're like, oh my god! Fast forward, I can't. I'm in the theater. But anyways, incoming segue. All right, Doctor Who stuff now.
You can say every time.
No, seriously. Just you know what? I tried on 2 separate occasions during Niagara Falls Comic Con to have an interview with London Batman. It didn't happen at all.
London Batman.
The first time, everyone kept interrupting us, and the second time, he was pissed drunk on the floor.
London Batman is, I must admit, he's some major action, to quote an old pal of mine, yeah.
We were sitting there, and he was dressed up as, I don't know if you know Archer, the TV show, but
yes,
he's just talking, he pulls out a Mickey Jameson, and I'm like, oh, he's got a prop. He goes, ain't no fucking prop, and he starts banging it back, and I'm like, what? He's like, if you're going to be Archer, you have to be Archer. And I'm like, oh, he's fucking drunk.
Oh my god. It's the only way to travel, man. Well, the Comic Con was, it was great. It was very intense, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah, and that was the first time we got to meet these fine people in the flesh, in IRL. Is that what they call it? In real life?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Wow, he's dropping computer speak.
Dropping computer speak from 1992.
She's very good.
There. Yeah. I'm like a regular Bill Gates.
He's like a regular Pac-Man.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Pong. Over to you, Andrew. Pong.
Thank you very much. Yes. Defender. I'm just going to say old video games from my youth.
Asteroid.
Gallagher.
Don't laugh. I had that as my ringtone on my phone.
Did you?
Gallagher, yeah.
There's nothing wrong. You know what? As we're laughing about 80s video games now and naming Gallagher, there's a studio exec working on the 3rd rewrite of the script for it. So that's probably what's going on. I mean, were they not doing a movie about space invaders?
I did see something about that.
Oh, the closest one I think is the Pixels.
Yeah, Pixels.
Oh,
It
yeah.
actually has Pac-Man in it.
That looks good, though.
Space Invaders, yeah. It actually it didn't look too bad. I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan, but I'll probably check it out. It looked interesting.
Did you read that? There was some article that I read very, very briefly earlier on tonight. I think it was one of the girls that was in the actresses that was in Charmed. You know that movie about that TV series about witches?
Yeah, I'm familiar. Rose McGowan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you catch that?
I did read something about it. She ended up getting kicked off.
Fired by her agent or some shit?
Yeah, because she ended up speaking up about Adam Sandler being casted in something.
Well, from what, that may be. I just took a brief kind of, it was like walking into the buffet. I went like, oh, the chicken looks good. No, I didn't have any more, right?
One trip, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, and she said that she'd been, her agent had given her a copy of a script, and the script called for the actresses to wear something tight, showing off a lot of cleavage and wearing something like, tight leggings or jeans. And then there was a note attached that said, and please follow the script for context. Now, to me, it's like, okay, get naked, but make sure you read the undertone psychologically and emotionally of the script. And she objected to this and said something about it. And then the casting agent said, her agent said, basically, you're fired because with your attitude, we're not going to get any work in Hollywood, which seems to be a very sexist place to work. Now, that's not exactly a revelation, but it's still shocking when you hear it certified in such a way.
Well, how about this? Notes. Please make sure to read the attached script before coming in so you understand the context of the scenes. Wardrobe. Black, or in brackets, or dark, form-fitting tank that shows off cleavage, in brackets, push-up bras encouraged. Yes! And form-fitting leggings and jeans, nothing white. What's wrong with white?
Yes. I like the way you summarized that. That was very efficiently done.
He wrote it off the interwebs.
That was brilliant. I couldn't hear you googling as we spoke, and that's not a euphemism. But no, I just thought to myself that was absolutely I just thought that's really crazy, and it reminded me of a story about I don't know him, but I've been to a few courses and everything, and you meet people who've met people, and it could be all a bunch of nonsense. But I know this is a story that's often told in like writing circles, and basically to cut to the chase. There was a guy who had a script that I think was on Hollywood's Blue List. Have you heard about this?
No, I never heard of that.
Okay, the list is something which basically is the top 10 scripts in Hollywood that have never been made, but they're so hot that everyone's all over them, but for some reason they've never been made. This guy had written one. He'd broken into Hollywood, and he had his name on this list, and he was brought into a restaurant by an agent. And this guy had written, my God, I can't believe I said that. He'd written something like, Seven or Schindler's List or something like that, the equivalent of that. So you think he's a big deal. He sits down with a prospective agent from one of the leading agencies in Hollywood. And the agent says to him, "We love the script. We've got an option for a big Hollywood studio, but would you contemplate doing some rewrite work?" And he said no. The agent says, "Okay, fine. You order, and I just have to go someplace and take a phone call." She never comes back. Now he's left on his own with presumably a Waldorf salad or something. Now they always tell you this when you're talking to writers or going to courses. The reason they actually tell you this is because rewriting scripts in Hollywood is the main thing that writers do, no matter who they are, and that's how the agents make their money. So when he had the hottest script in town, but when he rejected rewrite work, she dumped him like he was the flu.
Huh.
Crazy, eh?
That's messed up.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the whole, Rose McGowan thing. They get people in there for certain reasons. I'm sorry if I'm going off topic, but
no, not on this show.
At least if I'm going off topic, you can hear what I'm saying, which is better than before.
You do know that's our slogan is off topic and offensive. Because we got more shit for being off topic and offensive than anything else that we've ever done.
Really?
I think it's funny.
I think it's pretty funny, and I want to talk about some accounting software that I've recently installed on the show.
Well, we had a very weird situation. To go back to what I was saying earlier about, we got to sit down and talk to James Abar. But we had a conversation with the PR department, you cannot talk about the Crow movie that's coming out.
Yeah, wait a minute, he's the Crow guy, isn't he?
Yeah, so we're like, okay, what do we talk about?
Right.
Yeah, what do you talk about with James Barr, right?
Yeah, so we talk about electronic banking for 20 minutes. We didn't know what to talk about. We started off with regular questions what's your opinion between having an actual physical copy of a comic or an electronic copy and stuff like that, but we could not talk about the Crow at all. And then he's like, yeah, things are I'm still old school and I still go to the bank and I still pay at the bank. And then we start talking about that. I'm like, this is working. I don't know what we should be talking about, but we talked about groceries and
There's something weirdly unusual about that, which I think makes it very fascinating. I mean, I'm a big Rush fan, and I know Rush has figured into season 2 and season 1 of Doctor Who. My doctor's a bit of a Rush fan, which is more of a Mike idea than mine, but it works brilliantly. Can you guys still hear me? Because my screen went funny.
No. I still.
Okay, good.
I was going to say, I still see you. I don't see you.
No.
Fantastic.
I hear you.
That's best of all. Like I've always said, I've got the perfect face for audio.
Facebook radio, yeah.
And I was reading an interview with Rush, and like Alex Lifeson was talking about having arthritis and playing golf, and he was like smoking a joint near the window and stuff like that. Getty was talking about his wine collection and all the rest of it. If I was interviewing like James Barr about something, it would have been, I think I'd be saying, imagine, we can't talk about the Crow, but imagine you're at Loblaws and you go and they don't have your favorite ginger snaps. Now, if you could come back from the dead as a vengeful spirit to pursue the manager and kick his ass for taking your ginger snaps away in a remake, who would you cast? Right? I think I'd like to bend it around a little.
That's very good. That's very sneaky. I like that.
I like how you just
Very
wrinkled that
sneaky.
one in there.
I think it'd be very good. The ginger biscuit coming July. I think they took away his wife, but now he's back. I think it would be good. Don't snap him in two and dump him in milk. He'll kill you.
Well,
I think that would be good.
Then you've got the Crow and the reboot there, but technically you could go with a reboot of Ginger Snaps.
Oh,
Ginger Snap Crow.
It works on many levels.
This is so weird.
I can tell Mike is now thinking, Andrew, never mind Derek Who, our follow-up to Dark Journey should be Ginger Snap.
Oh, totally. I think that's what it should be.
Sorry, Ginger Snap Crow.
Ginger Snap Crow.
Yeah.
No, Ginger Crow, it's like a red-headed crow. That's a soulless
That's
demon.
bad idea. Bad
Really?
idea.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with redheads. I date redheads.
Yeah. Okay.
No comment. No comment.
No, I call her a soulless demon. She knows. She's
Yes,
okay
well, actually, Cassandra in Dark Journey, in my head, is a redhead. And in season 2, she describes herself as the whore of the apocalypse, right, Mike?
Yes, she does.
Yes,
because she has a perm in the second series.
She has a perm.
And who gets a perm?
As Mike will tell you, perms come across on audio rather well.
Why is
yes,
it
they do.
always the
They do.
red-headed chick?
There's extra bounciness to it.
There is bounciness for the sacrifice.
Yeah, for the sacrifice. Sorry, what's that, Todd?
It's always the red-headed chick, so you're kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, you got to worry
Game
about
of
them.
Thrones, what's her name?
Melisandre.
Yeah, I don't trust her.
No.
It's the redheads. Like that girl from Wendy's. I don't trust her. Salads? For real?
At Wendy's?
Come on. Yeah.
And the worst part is it's got more calories than anything else.
Yeah, she's in a field, she's eating salad, people drop out of the sky, they're eating salad. At Wendy's? No.
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 But I thought, isn't she blonde?
Isn't it like a dimension where...
No, she's a redhead.
I think Mike's been on something, popping out the skies and eating salads.
Oh, man.
I just want to confirm, this is the home shopping network I'm talking to, right?
That's funny because my girlfriend worked at Wendy's for the longest time.
She did.
And she's a redhead.
Oh, there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to deal with Wendy's in ways that I can't disclose on this podcast.
Oh my!
But really? I was in the back. Here's a little moment for you guys will probably be able to relate to.
Andrew,
right?
do you want to change the name of the restaurant here, maybe just to kind of protect the integrity of the corporation? So instead of Wendy's, maybe call it Mendy's.
Let's
cover our bases. We don't want Todd to get in trouble, right? You know?
Let's call it. Well, it's not a bad story, but for legal reasons, let's refer to it as something non-litigious. Let's call it McDonald's. A completely fictitious restaurant that's probably run by a clown. I don't know.
So what happened?
He's got red hair.
He does. Another horror of the apocalypse, if you ask me.
Another horror of the apocalypse. Yeah.
So what happened in the back room of Wendy's?
Well, I was in the back room. I was in the back room of Wendy's, and I was talking with the manager. And I looked, and in boxes, she had all these forthcoming treats. This sounds a little bit like a Grimm's fairy tale, now that I come to relate to you. And it was all the superhero treats that were coming out. I think, Mike, I actually gave the wee lad some of these things.
I do. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And I was in the back, and I said, are these all the treats for the coming week? The coming month. And she goes, yeah, we've got the first week there. There's a Superman action figure. And then there's a Batman and his Batmobile. And she goes, would you like them? And I said, yeah, I would. And I was in this position where she opened all these boxes and she gave me all these little things, like these little Superman figures. Now, this took me back to when I was a kid and I used to get the Star Wars glasses for Empire Strikes Back.
You know, is this a part of the story where the cops show up? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, because they said, wait a minute, Andrew Chalmers, aren't you a self-eating cannibal? And I said, yes.
No, they were only showing up because you weren't wearing pants.
Oh!
No, well, that is true. Actually, you know what? I was arrested, but I was just an accessory to James Barr, who was murdering a Loblaws manager. So I don't really know what's going on, but I just want to confirm this is the Home Shopping Network, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We ordered the salad.
My buddy Mike's floating around in the airwaves somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm somewhere there.
It's only going to be 6 easy payments of $99.99.
Exactly.
For your previously
enjoyed salad.
Yes.
Previously enjoyed.
And a Wonder Woman enchilada.
Oh.
That was not meant to be rude. I was just mixing things there, guys.
Oh, God, that was sloppy.
I'm sorry. Your eyes are in the gutter. You're just creating something like it now to appease your own perverted needs. There is nothing.
I take that comment. Totally
there is nothing that can be erotically deduced from Wonder Woman enchilada. Give me a break.
I'm not going to look at it.
Actually, hang on. There is. I'm just thinking of it now. Sorry.
Oh, God.
You said this was off topic, right? I disagree.
Oh, yeah, no, you nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
No,
it's totally on topic.
500 internet points to him. There you go.
Mike, hang on. Just keep him talking, okay?
Okay.
He's going for a walk?
Yeah,
I think he's
his pants.
Yeah. I think he's going to try to take your wallet. I'm not really sure. It sounded like I'm supposed to distract you now.
You can have it. There's nothing in it.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Okay.
I feel bad for Ray J. We go to the comic book store every Wednesday, and we collect these things called Funkos. I'm not sure if you saw that at the comic.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He collects them just as much as I do. It's getting to the point now we're going to go past a comic book store. He's just going to throw his wallet into it because he's always buying Funkos.
And I'm just going to walk out with like armfuls of them. I'm like, just throw my wallet on the counter. I don't know, 60 plus.
60?
Really?
Yeah.
I got about 40. No. They take up so much room. That's the worst.
I know they're always releasing them. Like, what's the newest one that they've got going?
Oh, they've got all kinds.
I think it's a Karate Kid line.
There's a Karate Kid line coming out. Breakfast Club just got dropped. Big Trouble in Little China.
You got the Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, I do not have any of them yet.
Well, no, but
I have not seen them.
They haven't released. Well, it's the Capaldi series.
Oh no, they're doing. I know they're doing the Fourth Doctor.
Well, interestingly enough, guys, if people want the Funko Doctor Who set, they can always check us out on thegeeko.com, where they're actually giving away, or we are giving away in conjunction with thegeeko.com, we're giving away some of those Doctor Who sets. So check that out.
I love the shameless pop.
Oh, what a shameless pop that was!
Hey, you know what?
It's not like I haven't done it already.
Have you really done it?
I
haven't even had time yet. That's how you don't understand. Like him and Funkos, it's like crack to him. It's bad.
What's the appeal, AJ? What's the appeal? Why do you got to have them?
It's just a collectible. You know, everyone almost always has that one thing that you want. You know, some people it's cars, some people it's comics. Me, it's these little figures.
Now, in his defense,
I'm back.
Oh. In his defense, though, like he didn't just start collecting it. It was months of trials where he would come with me to the comic book store every Wednesday and stare at them. And then finally, I think it was the wife that kind of started it, wasn't it?
No, it was me.
You brought home one, and now you have collection.
Yeah, I think the one day I ended up going in, and finally the willpower broke, and I bought two. And at that point, the wall fell down, and now there's like shelves of them.
See, I can't get into the whole collecting thing. I mean, Chalmers he's a big collector, and he's a big completist. He's got like all the characters, all the busts, all the different, everything. But I can't get into it. I don't know.
You got to find you don't have to find it. It'll eventually happen. Like my collection just started off with, I was a huge fan of the Joker, and now I have a giant cabinet full of busts, toys, rares. I haven't got to the point where I'm committed to pay $400 for a statue.
Right.
That's too much for me, I think. But
I know what you mean. I think the price. Actually, I just want to check something with you guys. I just excused myself there, and I said to Mike, "Keep them talking." First of all, I apologize for talking about you in the third, but I felt it would have been too detailed to get into things. Now, can I just ask you something? Can any of the three of you? Could you hear me urinating? Just answer the question.
I thought I heard it.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Jeez, you got ears like a hawk.
Because if you couldn't hear me urinating, I was getting a drink of water. That's what I'm just going to say.
Good cover. That's like the Mendy's thing. That's good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Exactly. Yes.
M-A-C.
Exactly. Burger Wendy's, as we call them.
Is that the Irish version?
You know the whole collecting thing. I just came in. I had to do that kind of. Can I talk about what you're talking about, kind of, kids?
You can come in the sandbox. It's fine.
Yeah.
Lots of room.
I'm coming in the sandbox
We'll
there.
clear
Yeah.
out. You can hop in.
Thank you. I believe actually coming in the sandbox was the name of a Swedish movie I saw once. Sorry.
I should have seen that coming.
You do you do realize you've tuned into Late Night Mike and Andy, okay?
It is 12:21 a.m.
I know the night is young, but I am not.
So okay.
So anyway, I know what you mean. I'm a big fan of the Big Chief Doctor Who figures, but you know what? When they want $500 for a TARDIS, I'm like, holy shit! I really want it, but that's too much. The price of figures and statues has gone mental, and people have responded by buying.
It's so weird. Like I agree with you completely, because when I started collecting, some of the statues I saw were like $100. I'm like, okay,
that's nothing, man.
No, but I saw. Well, DC rolled out this huge series, because this year is the 75th anniversary of the Joker, and I saw some of the statues rolled out. I was like, fuck. There's no way. Like,
yeah, I know.
There was a statue there. It was the Joker and Harley Quinn. It was $369.99. I'm like,
I know.
No, is it handcrafted? At that point, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to pay that much, I want it to be done by hand.
No, Harley Quinn.
I don't want one of these mass-produced.
No, seriously, she had cross-eyed, and I'm like, I'm not paying $369.
Well, you have to go back where these things are also they're mass-produced. Usually the quality is there, but sometimes it's not, because the moment you have a lot of people buying a lot of money, then sometimes things can slip, you know?
If they're being mass-produced, why are you selling them at $350? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I know what you mean. I mean, Mike and I have had the same conversation, because he's come over to my place, and, you know, he's looking at all the stuff, and I'm like, that figure's like $400. To your average person, that's insane.
Yeah.
But to the people of like our culture, it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that happening. I have a friend who buys the premium format sideshows. These things are like $1,000, $2,000. They're like 24 inches in height, and they're so detailed. It's unbelievable. They sell thousands of them. And the last time I was on their website, they had full-size statues of Darth Vader and Boba Fett. You see, it's like
life size,
dude.
Yeah,
so Vader's like 7 feet tall, and you know Boba Fett is presumably the same height as Boba Fett. But this is what I'm saying. The statues have gone larger, and they've gone more detailed.
How much is the Jar Jar?
No one
buys it, so it's free.
Actually, you could get a full-size Jar Jar from talking with the manager at Wendy's that I knew. It was in the 5th box.
Is he working behind the counter? Is the question.
He's working behind the counter, and everyone hates him.
God,
because Misa mess up your order, side.
Where was Jar Jar when Anakin was speeding down the highway last week? Where was he?
Misa making a salad.
Misa at Wendy's. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
what was up with that? I mean,
he just decided to go for a high speed chase because he had no fucks that day. He's like, well, He hasn't done anything since Star Wars Episode
I was just
1.
going to ask that if Jake Lloyd has done any high caliber acting since then.
Yeah,
He's in the fourth season of Hannibal that Mike and I are doing.
Wait, don't you mean he was?
Oh.
Yeah, we just fired him. I think he's going to be in James Barr's reboot of The Crow that we can't mention.
The Crow Loblaws edition?
Let me get this
Yes,
straight.
totally.
You want me to dress up like a red-headed crow? All right.
It's going to be called Ginger Annie.
No, you know what? Who's a shoe-in for that? Like, I mean, he'll do anything. Nicolas Cage. He'll do it. He'll do anything.
Nicolas Cage will, yeah.
Nicolas Cage, well, yeah. Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey.
Put down the bonnet.
Put the money back in the box.
But you know what? Nicolas Cage is a fascinating dude, and I just think to myself, like there was a stage there where Cage was really rocking it. He'd won an Oscar for the emotional Leaving Las Vegas. He's the alcoholic. He'd done the comedy. Then he started doing the action movies. He started doing The Rock and Con Air and Face Off.
And then that's it.
And then next thing you know, he's playing a witch hunter. Now launching at a Walmart clearance bin near you.
It's true.
But I like the guy. I would just like to kind of hang out with him. Did you Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay. Jerry Seinfeld.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it. I've seen a couple
Brilliant.
of them.
You guys, Tanya, you guys would. Don't you hear when people say, "I'm telling you"? Don't tell me anything. Fuck off. I'm telling you this. In my opinion, I don't want your opinion. Bugger off. Anyway, I'm totally distracted now. But The Crow.
Yeah, stop having an argument with yourself.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a paper bag.
Shiny.
So anyway, Seinfeld goes out in like an expensive car, right? And he picks up like a comedian, and they talk about stuff, and it's very kind of honest. And he went out with Jim Carrey for the last episode, which is fascinating because Jim Carrey is quite an accomplished artist, right? And he's very like Zen-like, and he's just about to go to a meditation retreat and not talk for 3 days, which Mike often wishes I would do. Sorry, I thought that'd be funnier. And thank you for the sympathy laugh. Thank you for even more sympathy laughs.
You have to ask.
But anyway, there was I was
just waiting to see how long of a pause I would get there before I would get in.
That's okay.
But then you start talking again.
I got
It's a sound engine.
I have a laugh
Yeah.
track. We're okay.
So
Yeah.
what happened with Jim Carrey? What happened with Jim Carrey?
I've forgotten. Sorry, I'm not going to try and labor because I know there's no point. There was something funny in there, but it's gone now.
I can tell you a Nicolas Cage story that actually involved me. So,
really?
Yeah, I didn't meet him, but I almost did. It's a matter of I almost did. So back in
let's hear it.
Go on.
07 or 08, I went to New Orleans, and I had vacation there, and
Nice.
I was on a
Nice.
ghost
Angel
tour
Hub.
there. And it was taking you down like the old buildings that were there from like 100 years, and they were telling you like the ghost stories and how everything came to be. And our tour guy was like, "Hey, so when you guys were out and about yesterday, did you notice that there was a lot of police cars here, and there was, a lot of the, black SUVs with tinted windows?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, we were just hanging out at the bar because there was a bar there across the street from the building about to mention that's been there for about 125 years, and it's one of the first bars that were created since the landing, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember that." And he's like, "Yeah, that's because across the street is Nicolas Cage's house." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's pretty cool." He goes, "Yeah, he just sold it. He bought it 3 days ago. He sold it today." I'm like, "What?"
Impulse
And he's
buy?
like, "Well, what happened?" Well, no, that's what got him in trouble. If you actually look at why he's always in trouble for money, because he was an impulsive buyer. So he bought a castle out in Scotland.
I remember that.
And he bought all these different properties and everything, and then his career went in the toilet. So he had to start selling it all. And what happened was he bought this house in New Orleans. He didn't stay the night because he heard noises and he was worried that it was whatever. So this is actually pretty funny. So they're like,
He heard noises. I love that.
he was freaking out because he kept hearing, as they would say, like chains dragging or whatever. So they pulled up the floorboards and they found bodies.
Whoa.
And he moved instantly, sold it, he was gone. And then they ended up being...
As you would do.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't be like, oh, look, a body, high five.
Or high bone.
Oh, that shit's off the list.
Someone get a frying pan.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, look, no, I wasn't going to make a really bad comment. I'm changing my mind.
Bad movie choices, bad real estate choices.
Good dead body choices, though, Mike.
Yeah.
His acting is impeccable.
And I remember reading the same story myself, and here's the little kicker at the end of it. The rotting corpses under the floorboards were the last people to pay money for a movie ticket starring Nicolas Cage.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! I don't know why I'm kicking him, because I like Nicolas Cage. I think he would be great, just to talk to. I think that was the whole Jim Carrey thing I was talking about. I think he'd be great, because I think the people who've been screwed around in Hollywood, I don't know whether you caught this Channing Tatum interview.
Oh, how he had to do G.I. Joe against his will.
Yeah, against his will. Like, he just woke up on set with a bad script.
He signed with Age doesn't know. So he signed with a production company for 3 films.
Right.
Yeah.
And that production company said it was Coach Carter, G.I. Joe 1, and he's like, okay. And he picks up G.I. Joe 1 and he goes, this is fucking shit. I don't want to do that. And like, well, you don't do it, we're going to sue you.
Yeah.
So he got them to agree if he did G.I. Joe 1, they killed him quick in G.I. Joe 2. Well, he was in G.I. Joe 2 for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And then they passed it over to The Rock, who saves franchises for a living, right?
See, look, I found someone who agrees with me on that.
He does.
He does.
He does. Get him in. Mike and I have cast him in Hannibal.
Yeah.
Because we think that has to be brought back. So we've got The Rock and Hannibal.
Is he coming on Dark Journey season 3?
Oh,
he's coming on Dark Journey season 3.
You know what the funny part is? He probably would do it. He's known to do weird things like that for fun, just because.
He ended up becoming a minister so he can marry a friend of his.
Yes.
Let's put a call in to The Rock then. How do you contact The Rock? How do you get in touch with him?
Well, you smell what he's cooking.
Oh!
He's on fire.
He is.
On fire.
Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah. This is the home shopping channel, right?
What is his affiliation in
he likes you know what, maybe that's what he wants to do with his life. He wants to be on the Home Shopping Network since he keeps popping them and he's hoping they're listening. Like, that guy's got a great voice, hire him.
Well, you guys have a wide listenership, so they might be listening, the Home Shopping people.
We need to add like a little image to like the Skype call of some kind of bust of Doctor Who, and then we'll flash like different sales. Maybe he'll send us money while we're on the call.
On the 45-minute mark of this podcast, we currently have a necklace for sale. It's 9 payments of $139.99.
Each bead looks
who
like a
needs
TARDIS.
money?
Yeah, who needs money? And it would be good. It would be phone within the next hour or last week or next month. I'm in the TARDIS. Who cares?
I could be your dumb sidekick who doesn't know anything about the thing that you're selling. That guy who's always like, really? I don't know if this will work. Will this work, Andrew?
What is this? How does it work?
How do you open this? How do you open the TARDIS door here? What does this do, Andrew?
What does this do? Oh, Mike.
What do you think of this blender? It's a fantastic blender. How do we know it worked? Put your hand in. Let's find out.
Okay.
Okay.
And if it all goes to shit, we'll just blame James Barr.
What's this? This is called a Hannibal Shake.
Did you guys like Hannibal?
I do like the show. I literally fell asleep in the 3rd episode of this season because I just can't. It's so dry.
Oh no, I actually enjoy season 3. I'm disappointed it's being it technically is canceled right now, but they're saying
thanks to Mike and I.
Yeah, they're saying there might be a pickup, so it's not completely dead.
You never know.
I haven't seen season 3.
You've only missed 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's only a couple.
But I've heard various bits about it. We've just moved and we're trying to get cable, and everything technologically up here is a bit dodgy, like the internet and stuff, because we have a steel roof.
Where'd you move to? The Nunavut?
Smart ass. We're just outside Port Perry.
Oh, Port Perry. That's nice. I've been there. It's nice there.
Which is but don't try and get an internet signal, dude.
No.
I'm now mailing interviews to people. It's nice to be
It's like,
here.
You sit there, I gotta mail a letter, and Kevin Costner flies by. He goes, "Fuck, I need money." He grabs your postcard.
Totally, yeah, the postman and everything, yeah.
I was thinking
But it's nice, and actually, I mentioned this to Mike, and I was delighted when I said this a few days ago. But we were driving. We're very much in the country, as you guys know, right? Mm-hmm. And the other night, Linda and I were driving back, and Linda saw a Mothman.
Oh my God! Really?
Now, yeah, absolutely. And the interesting, I remember talking about the Mothman or the Mothman with you guys a long time ago when Mike and I were talking about doing weird ideas for Doctor Who and getting involved in folklore and things like Spring-Heeled Jack and all that business. And we were driving, and I didn't see a damn thing, but Linda is not like me. She is not a male, and she does not consume parts of her own body in a curry. Not that, well, except at the weekend, but I don't get involved in that. But she said, "Did you see that thing?" And I said, "No." And I said, "What's going on?" And she said, "It looked exactly like that. It flew towards the car. It was the same shape as a person. It had a head, and it had a massive wingspan, and I don't know what the hell was going on." And we were driving home in the rain, and I didn't see anything. I would love to. I was, closely following. We were moving boxes. I would love to have seen it. I can't lie. I didn't see a damn thing, but I know that Linda did.
Were you driving?
No, we're in two cars.
Oh, okay.
I was in the TARDIS with Fred.
Fred.
Actually, you don't know Fred, do you?
No, we don't know Fred.
Well, I've screamed about him, haven't I?
What's Fred like?
Fred is tell them.
Mike, what's Fred like, Mike? Fred?
Ooh, Fred is the, we'll find out more about Fred in, we'll find out more about Fred. Episode 5, I think.
Episode 5 is the big, is the big thing, yeah. Are you guys, okay, listen, what have you guys listened to? Because I'm all timey-wimey, and I'm sure Mike's the same.
4.
But for the sake of this podcast,
yes,
3.
3. You see, that's
well, I had this master plan of, okay, we'll talk about the first 3 for the first half an hour,
which is now well past that.
Okay.
Then home shopping, Wendy's, Mothman,
Mothman, internet connection. I know. So you guys have listened to 3 unofficially, 3 officially, 4 unofficially.
Correct. And Mike
So
already
you
gave
listened to the end of 4. Don't me. You know what I'm talking about. You listened to the end of 4, right?
Yes.
I like how you both say that obediently. It was like okay.
Me, well, like,
hey, stop bossing them around, Chalmers. We're guests.
Goddamn like.
We are guests on this podcast. You will shut your.
I will. I put this apple pie out to cool, and someone stole it. And those guys are like, "No, it wasn't me. No, it was me. It was like that."
Apple pie.
Okay, yeah, like you know how in cartoons, like if in cartoons if you put an apple pie,
but they're not Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
Yeah, but the way they said no or yes was like Yogi Bear and Boo Boo.
Are you guys Hanna-Barbera creations, Todd, AJ?
Yes.
No.
And I am offering them for sale tonight on the home shopping. Oh, sorry. Wendy's.
I'm the red crow that eats Wendy's with my kosher milk.
I think what Todd is trying to get at, Chalmers, is that we've listened to up until episode 3 on this podcast for the listeners.
We've listened to? We've
listened to. And,
oh, thanks.
Done. I'm just editing the pot. Snip. Right there. Cut the line.
So you've listened. Okay, fair enough. Because I'm not sure where episodes end up. I know they're on WikiLeaks. I know they get leaked from Sweden.
Yes.
That's how huge it is.
That's not what happened. Snow didn't leak military stuff. It was
Yeah.
Doctor Who, Dark Journey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shit, he released that? Fucking done.
Other lizard people in the White House. Oh, looks! Episode 4 of Dark Journey Season 2. I'll listen to this first.
That's like number 3 on the list. Number 5 is where Osama was.
Oh.
Yes, was.
Wow.
Well, what's just aired tonight, because tonight is Saturday for anyone listening to
love
this
the
podcast.
Saturday.
It's Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
They probably listened to the Age of Banishment on the Who Wars podcast.
I probably either that or Hannibal Season 4.
Who Wars? We got to listen to that show. I don't think I've ever listened to that show.
Oh, Rob Irwin is a lovely guy. and him and I had a very short interview for about 7 hours.
The sad part is I believe that.
That doesn't.
Yeah, that wasn't his.
It was cut down to 9.
That wasn't.
He was like in and out of consciousness over the 7 hours. Oh shit!
I actually think when I speak to people, they're unconscious. That's how they survive. But he's a great guy, and we had lots of interesting conversations there. So what episode are we doing tonight?
The Age of Banishment, like I've just said 3 times.
I love that title. So the Age of Banishment, Mike, is a biggie, right?
It is a biggie.
Why is it a biggie?
A lot happens in the Age of Banishment because there's lots of things that go on with lots of characters,
stuff, and things.
And words and stuff.
So now he's getting his revenge.
And then effects and sounds.
There's sound
explosions.
The visuals are awesome, right, T-Bone?
Oh,
they're bang on.
Totally awesome. They're amazingly awesome. Todd, AJ, what did you think of episode 3? The Age of Banishment.
We already talked about episode 3.
Well, what episode are we on now?
Yeah,
I'm confused
now
because they like curveballs.
We talked about that like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah,
now we're jumping
did.
back to it.
Hang on. There's a Mothman in the room with me.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Wait, is someone urinating again?
No, sorry. Hey, I was going for a glass of water. but now I can hear you. So, like I was just saying anything before, guys. Right, Mike. So, take control, Mike. Hannibal. Season 4. What are we doing?
Mike left.
Mike, you're the adult. Where did you go?
Yeah.
I'm here. I think this is a great time to say thanks for being on the podcast, Andrew and Mike.
Thanks very much.
It's always a pleasure having you.
We'll see you next week when we talk about episode 4.
Where can you find episode 3 tonight, Mike?
Oh, you could find that on the Who Wars podcast, hosted by Rob Irwin at whowars.net. And next week, it is in Australia, but it's on the internet, so it's really anywhere. But next week, you can find it. Where can you find it? Todd, AJ, where will we find episode 4?
I don't know.
So he doesn't ask me.
Where can you find it?
Hopefully my updated website of droidscanada.com.
BAM!
Oh! Shit pants came off.
Game over, man! Game over! Thanks for listening to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.